And indeed, a very good morning to you. Welcome to this morning's United Kingdom Talk. My name's Chris Reardon, here on United Kingdom Radio. I don't know what it is, but I always seem to have a bit of a coughing fit before I come here, well, before I sort of start chatting away. I don't know why that is. Only when I start doing this show. Doesn't happen. Can you hear it? Because I've got a bit of a sore throat. Came on last night. I do a karaoke night on Wednesdays in Belushes, a place called Belushes in Borough, London Bridge. Bit rough in there. Well, not rough. I mean, there's not fights going on and things like that, dear. But do you know what I mean? It's just kind of anything goes. As long as they're not knifing and shooting each other and taking drugs, the lads and the girls are kind of left alone. And it's usually a very, very busy night, as indeed it was last night. And it's left me with a bit of a sore throat because you have to keep control. You see, you have to keep control of the millions that are in there. It's very, very hard, especially coming towards the end of the night. Now, the karaoke night on Wednesday runs between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m, okay? At 10 p.m, it's okay, you know, it's not too many people there. We start going. Now, come 12 o'clock, I've got a list of 20, 25, 30 people waiting to sing songs. And it becomes a bit of a... Well, it doesn't become a mess, but it could quite easily if you lost control. Now, the hard bit is you've got people still coming up who've just walked in. Oh, can you tell me where the books are? Now, these are the books of the karaoke songs, right? Only we want to sing, and I have to say, at that point, really sorry, but we're full up at the moment. And then we go for the... Oh, it's the same old stuff every time. Oh, what time do you close? 2 o'clock. Oh, but that's another 2 hours to go. I know, but we've got enough people to last now, plus a few extra in reserve. And they're like, oh, can you just squeeze one more in? I mean, how do you squeeze one in? This is the stupidity of it sometimes. How on earth do you squeeze another one in? And I say, well, I can't. I'm completely full. And they won't go away. They don't go away. They just stand there and row with you all the time, and it's most depressing. Very, very hard to keep in control. It's the hardest thing, keeping control. And you get people offer you money, and the girls offer you sexual favours, which doesn't work on me, I'm afraid. But they do. They do. Oh, please, please. Oh, please. And there was one last night, and she said, we're from America. And I'm like, yeah. Well, can we sing? I said, well, no, I'm full up at the moment. But we're from America. I mean, why that made a difference, I don't know, dear. I really don't know. Unless, of course, it was one of you. All you've got to do, if you come in late... OK, here's my promise, right? Here's my promise. If you ever come to one of my karaoke nights and you're late, you know, and there's like, say, about 45 minutes to half an hour left... OK, if you come up to me and say, but I listen to your radio show, I watch your show on United Kingdom Radio, then I will still let you sing, OK? But don't you dare tell anyone else that. And don't use it for your friends, OK? If you come in with 5 people, then you come up and say, I really want to sing tonight. I'm sorry I'm late. Can you sort it, Chris? I listen to your radio show. You will go on that list, I promise you. Cross my heart. I'm promising you that now, OK? All right, only as a special thing, that is. Only as a special thing. We've got to say good morning. Yes, it's true. So that's how it is. I mean, the rubbish they come out with sometimes. Oh, please, can you put me up a few more places to the top of the list because we're going home in 10 minutes. No, they're not. Because I can guarantee you I will put... and I've done it before. I've done it before. When I've pushed someone up the list... OK? They've sung their song, and then 10 minutes later they come back, oh, we'll stay for another one. You see, they had no intention. I've seen it time... I mean, they must think... These people must think it's the only time that someone has ever said to me, I'm going to sing... I'm going home in 10 minutes, because they're not. 9 times out of 10, they will still be there... lying through their tip. I mean, the lies that goes on in there. Thank God there's no priests in it. We ought to have a confessional box in Belushes and all the other places I do karaoke. We really do. I'm actually a little bit excited for Tuesday night because I'm going back to a place where I worked at for 18 years. I left there in November 2007 with do you remember the box of biscuits? Eh? Do you remember the box of biscuits story? Just a minute, I've got to do something, haven't I? I've just realised I need to turn off the automatic thing on the camera, otherwise it's going to keep... what do I do? Do I do that? I don't know. Oh, I can't work it now. Just a minute. There it is. I need to turn something off. Just a second. Sorry, otherwise it'll keep trying to focus itself. I mean, it's bad enough focusing. There we are. Done that. There we are. Sorry about that. Yes, I'm going back to a place where I worked at for 18 years, and I left there coming on 3... I can't believe it's 3 years since I left this place. Tuesday night, I'll be hosting the karaoke at the Black Cap in Camden Town in London. And the reason being is that Adam, who does the karaoke, he took over from me. No, he didn't. He actually took over from someone else. Someone else took over from me. Then someone took over from them, and he took over from them. So it's like 3 people ago. Anyway, he's going on holiday. He said, "Do you want to do it, Chris?" I said, "Yeah, I'd love to." So we're doing that next Tuesday. If you are a Black Cap person, I do hope you'll join me for a bit of a sing-song next Tuesday night at 10 o'clock in the evening, OK? 10 o'clock. Try not to be late, dears. Let's make it a good one, eh? All right, next Tuesday. So that's it, really. So towards the end of the night, you start having to raise your voice a bit because people can't hear you, even with a microphone, you know. If you speak in a quiet voice, or indeed sing with a quiet voice, it can be very difficult to hear you. People don't understand that. Like when they're coming up to sing the karaoke and the microphone is like away here, and you know, if you move away from the microphone like this, it's more difficult to hear, isn't it? Okay, not so much with the one I've got here, because this is a top quality professional piece of equipment. Look at that. Look at a top quality piece of equipment I've got. There's no rubbish here, dear. We don't cut corners. This is not M&B. That's an in-house joke there. I don't cut corners. But when you're in a karaoke situation, or you've got perhaps a standard microphone, you've got to be close to it. And people sing, and the microphone's away down here, and they're singing like that, and you can't hear. And then people say, "Oh, turn the mic up," and you can only turn it up so far, or you'll get the feedback. Do you know what feedback is? This is what feedback is, isn't it? Okay, that's what feedback is. Oh, we get all the demonstrations here. So there we are. That was my karaoke night last night. Fantastic night. Loved it. Had a great time. Got to say good morning to... Oh, we've got someone listening in the Czech Republic. Good morning to, I think it's Radek. How do you say that? Radek. R-A-D-E-K. And he's listening because he's learning English, aren't you? He understands about the... Do I need to slow down for you, Radek? I will slow down so that you can convert the language in your head. It's hard work. I don't know how you learn a new language. I can do a little bit of French. Bonsoir, mon ami. Comment ça va? Ça va bien, merci. Et vous? Ouvrez la fenêtre. Now, if you don't speak French, you won't know what that was. I was saying good morning. No, actually, I was saying good evening. Good evening. Bonsoir, mon is. Good evening, my friends. How are you? Open the window. All right, let's do it again. No, I'll say good morning now. Bonjour, mon ami. Hello, my friend. Comment ça va? How are you? Ouvrez la fenêtre. Open the window. I don't know why it is. Why is it in school we learn, one of the first things we learn is open the window? I mean, more appropriate in my case would possibly be où est la toilette? Or où est la WC? Where is the toilets? I mean, surely that's a much more useful phrase than open the blooming window, isn't it? Or close the door. Fermez les portes. But fermez les portes. I don't know what it is, dear. I don't know. Anyway, good luck to Radek, who's learning English in the Czech Republic. What's the weather like there, by the way? It's a bit clouded over here. A little bit clouded over here. David and Kat are with us on the Isle of Wight. Good morning, David and Kat, with their baby Charlie Christopher, with the second name has been named after me. Oh, I love it, dear. I wonder how many people listening or watching this show right now have named their children after me. We could have an entire army of Chris Reardons across the world. Oh, it would be wonderful, dear. giving out free internet radios to join our happy growing membership. Now, those of you who, Vicky says, don't forget to record press the record button. Vicky, I did. Not only did I not forget to record the record button, press the record. Who is it? Not only did I not forget to press the record button, okay, but I also am recording on a completely different machine so we don't lose it anymore. Now, I'm afraid, boys and girls, we may have to judge someone now. We may have to judge someone because we have someone in London who I would refer to perhaps as my close companion, who I think is with us this morning, although I'm not sure. It's Matt, aka Ratch Hopkins, the human dynamo, who sends me a text saying, the dilemma, do I tune into you or to Steve Pitron, who is on Kiss FM with Kelly Rowland? Do you really need to ask that question, Matt Hopkins? I'm very, very disappointed. Very disappointed indeed. It may be that you and I will never ever share a bag of cheese and onion crisps again. I think I shall banish you to eating cheese and onion crisps on your own. That's quite possible. All right. So thanks very much, Matt Hopkins there. You can join in by email if you want to. I've got a lot of emails to get in. And also a little package. A little bit later on, we'll open the phone lines as well. A little bit later on. And the Skype numbers. Not quite yet, though. A little package here to open. Now, shall I open that now? Or shall I wait? Because we don't know. We've no idea. Look, it's all sealed. It's all sealed. This has not yet been opened. And I'm wondering if I should open it now or a little bit later on during the show. OK? Lines will be open for you later on to call in as well. No, we'll hold it for a while. So here I sit with a sore throat. I wonder if it doesn't really smell very much. But yesterday... No, it doesn't actually. It doesn't smell of anything. I've got a slate floor downstairs, and in my bathroom, like a grey stone slate floor. So a slate floor. It's not like normal tiles. They're like bumpy, you know. And it's been down for about, I don't know, 10, 15 years. It must be been down about 15 years now. And I've never really polished it, and it was looking rather dull. So my friend, my best friend Ron, came around the other day and started polishing it. And we bought this stuff from Sainsbury's Homebase all-purpose polish. And it says it revives dull floors. So we've put a couple of coats on, and to be honest with you, I haven't really noticed much difference. However, the bathroom floor, which is a lot smaller than the kitchen floor, I've kept doing it, and it would seem that it does need a few coats on it. There I was, boys and girls, there I was on my hands and knees. I know! Isn't it amazing? Me, an international celebrity, on my hands and knees. In somewhere other than Chariots, polish. I went to a little club the other night called Chariots. Lovely place. We played a little game. How many people can you get into one room? I mean, it's fantastic. Fantastic place. Highly recommended. And I was down there on my hands and knees, boys and girls, on my hands and knees, polishing my floor. And it would seem that the more you put on, that you kind of put a bit of, and then you let it dry, and then some more, and then you let that dry. And then it gradually seems to build up a little bit more of a shine. But it doesn't shine. I don't think they are supposed to shine, those tiles. Maybe you know, do you? If so, let me know. Now, we have a Skype. If you want to Skype in, my Skype name is United Kingdom Radio. Okay, United Kingdom Radio on the Skype. Or you can phone in as well. And we'll be opening the phone-in thing a little bit later on, okay? Got to say good morning to Heidi, who says, I love the shirt. Yes, I'm wearing... Heidi's obviously watching. You can watch or listen to the show. Depends how you want to do it. All right, watch or listen. Oh, there's a text message coming in on the phone. Let's see. Oh, he says, Pitron is running late. Not sure what time that is in French or Czech. Oh, so you'll be staying with us, will you, Ratch? Oh, thanks very much. It's so much appreciated. Thank you for choosing me. Come on, Ratch, you will have much more fun here than listening to some silly little dance music station. I mean, are they still on air, Kiss FM? I don't know. Are they still there? Are they still there? People are switching here. People are switching to United Kingdom radio in their millions. Do be part of the family. Anyway, Heidi does like the new... I'm wearing a red shirt. Oh, shock horror. I've got an extra button under. I'm revealing flesh this morning. We need the stripper music, I think. I am... Just a minute now. Where are we? Have we got the stripper music? No, I haven't got the stripper music. Well, I must do that button up immediately. I'm sorry for being so rude. And Heidi says, Heidi, who is in Earls Court, which is a very posh area of London, Heidi says that Ratch is nuts anyway. Is that right, Ratch? She reckons you're nuts. I'm not sure if that's true or not. All right, so that's that. Now we've got lots of emails to do. Right. If you've joined us via the Facebook advert for United Kingdom Radio on the Facebook, a very good morning to you. We do have a United Kingdom Radio group on the Facebook. The one you want, there are actually two groups. We can't find how to delete one that we don't want anymore. So do you know how do you delete? Does anyone know how you delete a United Kingdom Radio thing? I think young oh, I know who will know how to do that. My good friend Mikey Holt, who does a show here on United Kingdom Radio. I'll play you his little trailer in a minute. Mikey Holt, are you able to delete the United Kingdom Radio group? Because there's a group and a private figure. You want to join the private figure one and not the group. Okay? Mikey Holt, are you able to delete the group? Okay, because we need to delete that because it's very confusing having 2 or 3 or 4 blooming things like that. It doesn't annoy me that. Or do we just demember everyone? Is that how it works? I'm really not quite sure how to do that, so do let me know. David and Kat on the Isle of Wight say, open the box, Chris. No, I'm not going to open it yet. I'm not going to open it yet. Good morning. Millie's with us as well, who already sends us information. Thank you, Millie. Good morning, Millie. Vicky says, on the subject of the polish, step 1, Blythe 4 polish and apply several layers. Ah, there we are. There we are. See, so I'm right. Obviously, that's what's happening. The polish seems to build up the more layers. Oh, thank you very much, Vicky. Vicky, I know you're in the States. I don't suppose you'd want to come round and do my floor for me, would you? Eh? Could you do that for me, lovey? I just needs a little bit of a polish and a buff. We like a buff. I like that word, don't we? Do you think I'm looking buff this morning? I don't know. Not quite sure if I'm looking buff or not today. Eh? All right, then. Some other news, then. Katie the cat, my lovely, lovely, lovely little cat, has now been back to the vets. I took her back on Tuesday. You may remember I took her in last Tuesday before last because I noticed what I thought was a little tick on her underside. And when I put her in the basket, she did scream and shout when she went in that basket to take her to the vets. Her kind of mouth was open. It was like a little lion's mouth. And now she was, and she was growling. She was not happy in that cage at all. But she settled down after a while. And I noticed a red mark, what I thought was just a red mark on her tongue. Now, when we got back to the vets, he had a proper look, and we discovered it was, in fact, a growth. And when you looked more carefully, you could see it was a growth. Now, he wasn't sure if it was an ulcer or some sort of tumour. So, indeed, he gave her an injection of antibiotics. So that was a week ago. Come back a week later and let's have a look. So we went back on Tuesday. I went back on Tuesday with my best friend Ron. And it would seem that the growth doesn't look like it's gone down at all. On the other hand, it hasn't got any bigger. But it certainly hasn't gone down at all. So he's had to take a little swab, which was a bit of a job and a half, because he got kind of open mouth. He puts his fingers in her mouth, and pushes the mouth open and gets this cotton wool bud and, it actually took 2 swabs of this thing that's on her tongue, which actually doesn't seem to be bothering her at all. I mean, she's not eating any different. She doesn't seem to be bothered. The one thing I noticed yesterday with the cat is she is just as friendly as she was. She was a little bit more timid yesterday, but I'm wondering if that's because twice now we've had to kind of push her into the little cage to take her to the vet, and I'm wondering if that's what that's about. But I noticed yesterday she is sleeping in places where she's never slept before. Number one, right outside of my front door, almost as if she's like protecting the house, right? And also number two, right at the back door as well, because I've got front door and a back door, literally right next to them and in front of them. She's been sleeping in those 2 places where she's never slept before. Now, I do have a pair of slippers outside on the in front of the front door, and that's where she was putting her head on the slippers and got different. So slightly different behaviour there. So I don't know if that's an indication at all or not. But so now I've got to wait for that. Quite expensive to do that, really. That visit was £111. That's for the consultation fee and the swab thing. So now we have to wait for the results for that. And the vet would say he would ring in 2, 3 or 4 days when they get the results back and see if they could see anything there. Now, it's not guaranteed that they will actually be able to see something. The next step would be taking a biopsy. I think he called it a wedge, where they would actually cut a little piece off, or take a little piece of the growth, and then send that off to analysis. Again, quite an expensive thing, but that's okay. I don't mind that. So that would be the next stage, but this is the first stage, and we'll see if anything comes up there. All right, so that's the news there. All right. Now, I was going to tell you something. What was it I did last week? Just trying to think of... I'm really not quite sure. What was it? Oh, yes, I remember now. Remember the... what do you call it? You know, the Bluetooth headset thing that I had broke when it came out of the box? Yeah, I bought a little headset, a new Bluetooth thing, and it looked very, very pretty in this plastic box. It was hard plastic, not soft, hard plastic, and it had all been displayed well, but almost impossible to get out of the damn box. And I broke it when I took it out. Well, they replaced that, and also they replaced the... Now, what was the other thing I bought? Oh, that's it, a holder for the car. So I can put my mobile phone in the car and it just sits there in front of you. So much better than just having it on the chair in front. Have you ever put your mobile phone on the chair next to you in the car and you go around the corner and it slides across and then ends up down the side of the chair? Yes, you've done it as well, haven't you? I knew you'd done that as well. Yes, me too. Me too. Huh? So... now it sits in front of me on the dashboard and I can see everything that's going on. How wonderful is that? But the first one I bought, I pulled that and it snapped. I mean, it literally snapped in my hand. Anyway, I took that back as well last Thursday, just after I'd finished the show here on United Kingdom Radio. And they just changed it straight away. She said, was it like that when it came out of the box? And I was like, oh, yes. No, it wasn't really, I mean, I did, I kind of pulled... I mean, not very well made, is it? You can just pull something like that and it snaps. Oh, that's just such bad made stuff. Dreadfully made stuff. Anyway, I took it in there and again they changed it. So both items I had to take back and change, and they apologised that I had to return. And we must give that company a mention because that is fantastic service. The Carphone Warehouse. Okay, fantastic service in the car phone warehouse. Really, very, very pleased there. Free advert, very, very good service in the car phone warehouse. If you want any mobile phone things, then where as it stands at the moment, I highly recommend the car phone warehouse. Okay, okie doke. Now, what else are we going to talk about today? We've done the sore throat. Oh, yes, there's going to be another show Saturday this week at 3 o'clock in the afternoon UK time. The reason being for this is that I am building up emails here and we're not getting through them. And we haven't been able to take phone calls and things like that, okay? Because I'm trying to get through the emails. And, I really should start a show and just do a couple of emails and that's it. But I find it very difficult to just say a few words, as you know. Now, is Matt still with us? That's the worry. I think Matt's disappeared to Kiss FM. What a cheek. Hey, Heidi, can you sort that out, please? Matt has disappeared to Kiss FM, I do believe. It's a liberty, that's what it is. All right, then, let's do an email. And then I'm going to open this little parcel from the lovely Millie in Minnesota, who's with us this morning. She's got up early to be here today, haven't you, Millie? I know you've got up early, darling. Now, this is from Stacey. Now, Stacey is my nephew's girlfriend, all right? And she is a regular viewer. She never writes in, really, but she has done. She says that she watched one of the shows a couple of weeks ago. She says, "Hi, Chris, hope you're well. When are you coming up to see us next? Me and Gary." No, it's not me and Gary. Can we write properly, please? Don't be sending in letters in text language or anything like that. You must write properly. Me and Gary. It's incorrect. Please use the correct English. It should say Gary and I. Okay? Gary and I. You see, you've got to put other people first here. Other people first. Gary and I would love to see you. Have just been watching one of your shows, and I must say it really touched me and gave me a lump in my throat. Well, I've got a lump in my throat today, dear. Oh, yeah. I can feel it. It's just kind of on the right-hand side and down a bit, and it hurts while I'm swallowing a little bit, you see. Stacey says, "My nan and granddad have been married for nearly 70 years and have been together for about 73 years. How fantastic is that? I mean, you don't hear that now, do you? Don't you think that's wonderful? I mean, that is true love, isn't it? It is true love to be with someone for like 73 years. I think that's fantastic." Stacey says, "They are inseparable and my nan's life revolves around my granddad, who is also not great now, getting very old and struggling. I too worry about them when my granddad passes on. Who will she look after then? What will she do with her day not having to run around and cook for him?" You see, I think really, Stacey, this is what happened to my mum. My mum was what I would call a carer. She was a carer. And Mum would like nothing better than fussing over people. Me, for example, my dad, my sister. She loved to fuss over people, making sure they're all right all the time. And then when I left home, of course, and my sister left home, and then her mum died, and then her husband died, and then her dog died. And then there was her. And I think that's what got her, really. There was nothing really. Perhaps she lost her purpose in life, although she did so many other things. And I do think sometimes people of older ages, and it also goes like, you know, when people are forced to retire, when really they don't want to retire. Because all the time you're working, you are doing something purposeful, aren't you? I think some people who retire and then fall into an armchair, you won't get very long out of that, I'm afraid. What have you got to think about or do? You need to make a difference. Even if that difference is just something like, you know, serving someone in B&Q. You are making a difference. Working in a shop, 75 years old. You know, you are making a difference by doing something. You've got to do something. So that's what your nan would need then, Stacey. Your nan would need to find something to do. Perhaps some charity work if she couldn't find any paid work. There's plenty of places that won't help. Whether it be a charity shop, perhaps the British Heart Foundation, or what's the horsewoman? Oh, Sue Ryder. Sue Ryder shops, Oxfam shops, there's hundreds of them all over the place. She could do that, or she could work, you know, I don't know, doing something that makes a difference. Stacey also says it's very sad to hear about your uncle. Yes, I've got an uncle who's on his way. Sorry to hear he hasn't improved. No, he hasn't. And please, let's have a look. And that's it. And that's from Stacey. Rocky and Apollo, the cats, send their love. Send licks. And we like Rocky and Apollo. They're the most two beautiful black cats. They really are. So, yes, my uncle not doing too well. They've taken him off the medication now for some reason. He's got a brain tumour. And I'm kind of ringing my aunt a couple of times a week now, just for moral support. I think sometimes when someone goes down that far, and there is, of course, always hope. You know, one of the things I don't agree with is being told you're going to die in however long. I was having a conversation with a very good friend of mine, Richard, in London, about this very subject yesterday. He doesn't agree. He thinks people should be told what's going on. I don't. I think if it's a terminal thing, once you tell someone, yes, I'm afraid you're going to go, you've got a day, a week, a month, a year, 3 years, you then lose all hope. There's nothing we can do, go home and die, sort of thing. I've covered this subject before. I don't go along with it. I think everyone needs hope. The moment you tell them, that's it, mate, then all hope is gone. And I sometimes wonder if that helps them go more quickly. My friend, on the other hand, very good friend of mine, we often disagree on things, but we agree to disagree, you know, we don't sit there and have a row. He thinks you should be told, then you can, if you want to, tie up loose ends, say goodbye to people, this, that and the other. I don't know what you think of that. Let us know on the Skype. Skype is open now. My Skype name is United Kingdom Radio. Or you can call in as well, 020 3287 1488. If you're going to die, would you want to be told? There's a question for you this morning. Now, I only take one call at a time. I know some of the other boys and girls here on the United Kingdom Radio do like to stack up calls, sort of have 3 or 4 people chatting at the same time. I find that very confusing. I prefer a one-to-one with you if you're going to call in this morning. All right. So once again, my Skype username is United Kingdom Radio. Or indeed, you can phone in if you want to phone in. The phone-in number, it's a local London number. This is not a premium rate number. It will not cost you £1.50 a minute. It's a local London number. The phone-in number is 020 3287 1488. 020 3287 1488. If you were very, very ill, would you want to be told? Let me know. 020 3287 1488. Skype username is United Kingdom Radio. Okay? All right, we've got a call now, coming in now already from Millie in Minnesota. Good morning, Millie in Minnesota. I know it's very, very early in the morning there, isn't it?
Yes, it is, but I did it. I got up for you.
What time is it there, my darling?
It's about 5:30 in the morning here, sweetie.
Yeah, so I am a breakfast show in Minnesota.
Yes, you are.
And Millie, you've sent me something, haven't you, darling?
I have. I
do-
think you should open it while I'm with you.
Shall we
Skype.
open this now? It's not anthrax, is it?
No, it's not, sweetie. That I can guarantee.
Do you mind if I just meet? I'm going to ring someone while I'm with you as well. Just a minute.
Sure.
Off the mobile phone here, because I think he's disappeared and is listening to someone else. I mean, which...
I'm opening the box. Don't worry about him.
Well, it really isn't on. Is that you, Matt? Good morning. You are live at the moment. I've got the microphone to the phone.
Oh, no, I don't believe
Now, is this right? You've disappeared.
Leave him alone.
You've disappeared to listen to someone else.
Well,
Chris, come on, leave him alone.
I have Steve Pitchon and Kelly Reardon, and the lady that can speak as much as you, Fern Cotton, on in the background. Oh, actually, Radio 1, not Kiss FM, darling. I got that bit wrong.
Oh, BBC. Oh, well, that's a bit different, dear. If you've
But
chosen the...
I have you on Ustream, so I'm seeing you talking about 2 minutes ago, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I have delayed transmission, darling. What's going on?
Are you watching or listening, dear?
I'm watching.
As,
Easy, Chris. Easy. Breathe.
that's...
I'm not quite sure what's going on.
Well, that's very handy. Is the video coming across all right? It's not jumping at all, is it?
No.
It is for me.
No, shut up a minute, Millie.
Something to begin with, but no.
Hey?
it's fine, no.
Yeah, you see, Millie? You see, it's not jumping, it's you, dear.
Oh, fine.
It's all right. No. We've got Millie on the phone.
The minutes is a bit jumpy, but no, it's fine.
Yeah, we got Millie on the phone.
Press that button, darling. It was working perfectly.
We got Millie on the phone. It's jumping for her, but it's obviously her inferior connection in Minnesota, dear.
All clear, darling.
Oh, watch it.
What?
There must be waves in the way.
Waves in the way, dear. The Atlantic Ocean, dear. Thank you for your call. Thanks for taking the call, Matt.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye, caller.
Bye.
Well, thank God for that. He is with us. I thought I'd been abandoned for a commercial radio station, Millie.
Why would no? Well, I would not do that.
No, not you, him, dear.
I know, but I wouldn't do it either.
I know, right. Now let's open this. By the way, boys and girls, I know sometimes if your connection's a little bit slow, and even if you have a fast connection sometimes, it can run slow. You can always just listen to the show, which will not take up as much as your so much of your bandwidth. Go to the main United Kingdom radio site. That's unitedkingdomradio.co.uk and click either watch now or listen now. Okay, if you find the videos jumping about a bit, you can always I know some people like to watch, some people like to listen. If you're in an office somewhere, listen secretly. You'll probably prefer just to listen. And I hope those of you that are watching, I hope you're not doing other things while I'm doing I hope I haven't been reduced to a small square in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. I shall be annoyed if I'm reduced to a small square. Okay, Millie, opening the box now, dear.
All right.
Opening. Speak
My
then.
mother put this up for you. She.
Eh? You can turn your Skype off as well while you're talking to me, your Skype noises.
Oh, hang on.
What a cheek, dear. Because you're oh. Little white things. Are these edible?
No, they're not. They're awful.
No, they taste like polystyrene.
No, yuck.
Well, all I've got is these white things in here, the polystyrene white things. There's nothing here.
No, just.
Have you hidden it?
Come on.
There's nothing here. It's just white polystyrene things, dear.
Come on.
Is it? Just a minute. I'll have to get my waste paper bin to empty the rubbish into there. One moment, please. Do you know, we've not done any of these emails, have we, again? Oh, dear. We've got to do that. We're going to do emails, a lot of emails on Saturday morning this week to catch up. Right, hang on. Oh, hang on, there's a bit of paper in here. Bit of paper. It's not something nasty, is it? I don't like spiders. You haven't sent me a Hang on, I'm having a little feel. Oh, I know what this is. I know what this is before I even open it. I can feel what that is. That is a Russian doll.
Yes,
am I right? Let's have a look. Yes, it is. Oh, how wonderful. I've always wanted one of these. And this is of course, come from Russia. How wonderful. And in there, you open... Oh, it's wooden. How beautiful is that? How beautiful is that? And in the Russian doll is another Russian doll. And in that Russian doll is another Russian doll. I love it. Oh, I'm going to have to... I'm going to have to include this Russian doll in the rest of my show. Just a minute. I need to stand it on something. One moment, please. Oh, that's wonderful. Now, tell us all, Millie, where this has come from.
This is from Moscow, Russia. My mama and dad went there for about a month this last May, and she picked that out special for you because she knew because I told her that you liked those.
Oh, this is wonderful, Millie. Well, oh, it's a bit higher, that is. I'm trying to display it for everyone to see, those of you that are watching the show. What can I put this on? 1 second. It's a right mess in this room. Do you know that? Terrible in here. My friend Ron hasn't started on this room. I won't let him do this room because he keeps coming round and doing tidying up for me.
I know. That's terrible.
Just a minute now. Let me get something to stand this on. I've got some CDs. I'll put them on there. 1 second here. There we are. This will do it. This will do it. Wonderful. If I just put my new Russian doll on the side here, that should will that work? Oh no, a bit higher. It's higher. My life is lit. There we are. The Russian doll. I can only get one in. Is that all right, Millie?
That's fine.
I think people might be a bit scared now that Russian doll is watching them.
But my mom picked that out special for you.
It is beautiful. Thank you very much, Millie.
Oh, you're welcome.
Tell me, is the temperature warmed up? I mean, it's really nice, that. That's going to go on my shelf. I've got, you know, the shelving unit that I used to have in the background? I'm going to bring that in here. Whether or not you'll be able to see it, I don't know. It's a bit of a... I'm not quite sure if that's going to work or not. All right?
Okay.
Has it warmed up there, Millie?
It has. It has. It's been in the 70s and 80s here.
Right, we're expecting 90 today. 85.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, we expect... no, not oh dear at all. I love it. I love it. I love it. There's one thing I can't stand. It's cold weather. Snow and ice. That's why now in January, I always try and go somewhere. From this year, I've decided, in January, I will always try and go somewhere hot for a couple of weeks, because I hate it. Hate the cold weather, dear.
I know you do.
Although
You've got one more package coming from me, sweetie.
Yeah, they were talking about having some extra taxes on the... because, you know, we owe a lot of money here in this country. None of it from me, incidentally. I haven't borrowed anything. I don't believe in borrowing money. I'm really a little bit of a conservative, really. I don't understand how someone can borrow so much money, dear, and you know, pay it back over endless years. On the other hand, I suppose it must be a bit like buying a house. No one can buy a house outright, can they?
No.
Or very few people. You would have to have a mortgage and pay it back over X number of years. Maybe it's a bit like that, with the government borrowing all the money. I don't know how it works. I mean, we're not politicians, are we, Millie?
No.
Do you know who my favourite president is?
Besides Barack Obama?
Yes.
I'm gonna guess Clinton?
Correct. I don't know what it is. The man
Honest to God, that was a guess.
The man had so much charisma, it's unbelievable. How on earth did he get away with all that, eh? But he did, and they still loved him. They still loved him.
I know. I have an answer for that question you asked a couple of minutes ago.
What was that, darling?
You wanted to know what people thought if people thought that they should be told if they were gonna go.
Yes, please.
I see it from both sides, but speaking for myself only, I would prefer to be told for the reasons that your friend would prefer to be told. Tie up loose ends, get the house in order, so to speak. Say goodbye to people, and so on.
I mean, you know, if I wanted to get, if I was told something terrible, you know, today, I'd and to tie up loose ends. It would take me 3 or 4 years to tie up the loose ends, dear. You know,
Oh, you're more organized than that.
So it's all over the place. Paperwork and stuff like that is unbelievable. I mean, my sister would have such a terrible job. And she'd have to deal with it because it's all gone to her, and you know, it's all gone to her, so that's it. But yeah, it would take me forever. All right, Millie, yeah, I can understand both sides of it, but there we are. We've got a message here coming in from Fag Ash Lil, who lives in the wonderful place of Hove. Beautiful little place, Hove, who says, "Morning, Chrissy. Just got here and only really heard the question, not what happened before. But if I was going to die, I would want to know so that I could enjoy my time as best as possible." So that's come in there from Fag Ash Lil. Yeah, I mean, I do see what you're saying there. But I think personally I wouldn't want to know. I'd rather...
No.
Well, you know, I just wouldn't want to know. Wouldn't want to know. Hello, you've got 3 days or whatever. No, I don't want any of that. Because you would then surely you'd then spend the next 3 days worrying yourself silly. You would. You'd worry yourself silly.
You think I would? I actually, to tell you the truth, I'm not afraid of going over as such. It's more the process that's got me worried. I mean, what would take me over, if that makes any sense?
Yeah, I see what you're saying there, Millie. Anyway, my darling, thank you very much for your call.
Okay, and you've got one more package coming from me. I don't know when it'll get there.
Well, I'm loving my Russian dolls. That is beautiful, absolutely, and clearly hand painted. Thank you very much for those, Millie. No, it's actually from your mum, isn't it?
Actually, it's from both of us.
From your mum and you. Yeah. Thank you very much. Beautiful, beautiful.
I will let my mum know.
Okay. Cheerio, my darling.
Okay. Love you bunches.
Yeah. Bye, bye, Millie.
Bye.
Oh, yeah, the lovely Millie in Minnesota, regular contributor and listener to the show. She does do her own podcast now as well. You can find that at milliesworld.com. All right, milliesworld.com. All right, David and Kat on the Isle of Wight say... When I pop off, they can put me in a black bag and the bin men can pick me up and put me on the cart. Oh, blimey. Well, you'll be crushed up in that awful machine, won't you? You will be crushed up in that dreadful, dreadful, dreadful machine. Fag Ash Lil says, nah, if I was capable of going out, I would probably spend my last few days in the pub. Oh, Lil. I hope that would be with a computer so that you can listen to my programme. Eh? Thank you very much. Vicky says, doctors make so many mistakes. So if a doctor told me I was going to die in a few months, I'd know I must have at least 8 or 9 good years ahead. Like a lot of things in life, the attitude you bring to the situation is all important. Also, live each day like it may be your last, and you will have no problems. I think there's a lot to be said for that. There is a point to all this morning, and that's coming up shortly, okay? There is a point to all this morning. If you want to call in, you can do so. My Skype username is all one word, United Kingdom Radio. We also have a phone-in number, a local London number, 020 3287 1488. Do you think we should be told when we're going to die if it's known that we are? What do you think? You can also join in by email. If you're listening to the podcast, the email is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. You can use that one as well now, okay? All right, if you're listening to the podcast, You can always join in. You can join into any of the subjects that we've ever covered in all the 5 years that we've been here. The email is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Now, don't forget, there's going to be another show, an extra show this week on Saturday afternoon, live at 3 o'clock UK time. All right, once again, Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock UK time. I'm hoping to deal with a lot of the emails that have built up over the period of time in the next couple of shows, all right? Got to say hello to... what were we at? I've just forgotten, actually, what else I promised to do in the show today. Let me just have a look. We've opened a parcel, told you about cats. Okay, that's all right then. Robert in Iceland, the lovely Robert in Iceland, who likes the new format to the show. Thank you, Robert. I knew there was some way of combining the recorded and live shows, and this is it, and I'm quite happy with how this is going, actually, now. Robert says, "Hi, Chris. Loved the podcast of the live show. To me, well, it sounded like you were just, well, more content with yourself, and I do delight in that. Unfortunately, the timing is not good for me to take an active part. Or maybe you can join us on Saturday afternoon this week at 3 o'clock UK time, I don't know. The computer discussion you were having about the lifespan of computers, well, he says, I would like to add my views, if I may. We were talking about how long should a computer last a couple of shows back. I told you that I buy a laptop every 2 or 3 years because I use a laptop every night at work. And it gets bashed about a bit. And the last thing you want is to be running a karaoke night or DJing somewhere and your laptop to go bang. I actually now carry around a spare laptop with me, an older one. All right, and I'm on the 4th laptop, but the other 3 are still working fine. So the one of those is 360. It's coming on 8 or 9 years old, and it's running the music in a pub. I gave it away. It's running the music in a pub, 24 hours a day, and it's still working fine. So perhaps they do last a lot longer than we think they are going to. I'm very fortunate that I can buy a new laptop every couple of years, because it does worry me. I like to think of myself when I'm DJing or doing karaoke as a professional person. I will do everything to keep that night going. You know, even if it means spending a bit more money than perhaps most do. I do not want that to break down. Not because I would lose a night's wages, but because people have come out to a venue to be entertained and are expecting something, and I don't want to disappoint people. That's why I do it, right? Robert in Iceland says, I tend to start looking to replace computers around the 3-year mark. And I use my laptop every day, often for hours at a time. And here is some advice from the great Robert in Iceland. The biggest killer for computers is dust, and hence I would and indeed do clean them every 6 months, sometimes sooner. The big problem is the little fan over the processor chip itself that needs the care and attention. Use a soft, clean artist's brush and with a vacuum cleaner in hand, sweep away the dust. Sweep it away, boys and girls. Sweep away the dust. I do feel that could be turned into a musical. Robert in Iceland presents Sweep Away the Dust. And it would have songs like Oklahoma or something. You know, the big powerful songs in it, that one, I think. Robert says, be careful around the inside of a computer and never ever rely upon the fact that it is a low power area. Yeah, do be careful of the electrics. Unplug the computer and do not ever touch the insides of a computer, because you're not just going to damage yourself, you run the risk of touching the motherboard and with static on your body damaging clips. And sorry, damaging chips, not clips, chips. Chips. But for this job, just a nice wood handle brush and some care will see your computer last a long time. There we are. Computer help from Robert in Iceland. Thank you, Robert. Very kind. You see, we do technical help here as well. Technical help here, it all happens here. Technical help as well. Fag Ashley says, this laptop she has didn't even make it to the year mark due to fans clogging and overheating. Thankfully, though, we got it back to the manufacturers just before the warranty ran out. Well, that's the thing, isn't it? You know, that's the thing with computers. Do you take out that extended warranty or not? I have never taken out an extended warranty on a laptop. I think a lot of these extended warranties are unnecessary. I really do. I do buy an extended warranty for the washing machine, and I think that's about it. It's the only one I've got it for, because there's a lot of moving parts. You always hear washing machines breaking down, don't you? So I've got one for the washing machine, and that's it. Now, boys and girls, we have a new presenter here on United Kingdom Radio on Sunday nights at 6 o'clock UK time. His name is Stacey White. You may have seen him on BBC Three's The World's Strictest Parents. He's fantastic. He's lived a really good life. He's very, very interesting man. And he's now presenting his own unique show for us here at United Kingdom Radio. Have a little listen to this.
Whether you've had a good day or a bad day, or just have something on your mind, I'm Stacey White from Oklahoma in the United States. Now, live on United Kingdom Radio on Sunday, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Come join me and talk about anything and everything. Talk, and more talk. 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Sundays on United Kingdom Radio.
Loving the music there. He really is very, very good. Okay, so once again, Stacey White here on United Kingdom Talk at 6 o'clock, which is he's after Suko. Suko will be here as well on Sunday. Suko's on at 5 and Stacey on at 6 o'clock. All right, so there we are. 3 minutes to 12 here in the UK. Nearly time for me to go. But finally today, I have a rather a trip to do this afternoon. Like in half an hour's time, I've got to drive to a hospital to see a very, very good friend of mine who has been told she's got about a week left. Regular listeners to the show will have heard Gwen, a lady in her 70s, who is one of the most wonderful people I've ever met in my life. She walked in to one of my karaoke places quite a few years ago, which strangely enough was the Black Cap in Camden. And she kind of walked into my life, and ever since then has followed me around at all these karaoke nights that I do. As I've left somewhere, she's come with me and continued to come. Anyway, about a year ago, she was diagnosed with cancer in the ladies' parts down there. And she had some radiotherapy. And after the radiotherapy, it seemed that the hospital didn't kind of give her any more information after that. Anyway, as time has gone on, I've noticed her deteriorate. She has managed to come to a couple of karaoke nights since her diagnosis, but not recently, and over the last couple of months has indeed almost been confined to her bed because she's been so totally and utterly tired all the time. Anyway, Sunday, things appeared to take a turn for the worst, and she is now in hospital. And yesterday, I got a text from her daughter telling me that the doctors had told her she has about a week left, and she has been told herself. So that's where I'm going this afternoon, to go and visit the lovely Gwen. And it always seems so unfair, doesn't it? We all know people who You don't wish cancer or anything like that on anyone. But we all know people who you think, how comes nothing ever happens to them? Do you know what I mean? And yet, someone like Gwen, who has never had a bad word to say about anyone to me, gets something like that. Just don't get it. So that's where I'm going this afternoon. I'll let you know on Saturday's show at 3 o'clock in the afternoon how she is, okay? Don't know what to say, really, when I get there. I certainly don't want to go in crying my eyes out. I shall try and be happy, upbeat. I was telling some of the people at Belushi's where she became a regular. She's been a regular at all the karaoke nights that I've done, really. The Black Cap, the Golden Lion, Belushi's and Hammersmith. She's always been there. Until recently, she hasn't, of course, with her illness. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to say this afternoon. But you know what? It's important when someone's ill that they have visitors. Don't be sending a card. Don't be sending flowers. I know this because when I was in hospital about 10 or 12 years ago, whatever it was, with a burst appendix, and you get these cards and these flowers, it doesn't really mean anything. You want someone there. You don't have to sit there and even have a conversation. You want someone sitting there with you. So that's what I'm going to do this afternoon. David and Kat on the Isle of Wight are messaging in. Do us a favour, send us all the best wishes from us on the Isle of Wight. They also say, it's so hard when things like this happen, you don't really know what to say or where to put yourself. Well, you certainly don't sit there and say, I'm really sorry you're going to die. Goodbye. Or thank you for the wonderful things you've done. I don't think you say that. I don't think. And do you really think that person who's ill in bed wants to see you sitting there blubbering away? I don't think that's a good thing. I think we need to be upbeat here and happy. And only approach the subject if the other person mentions it. I also think when people are terminal like that, they still need hope. Come on, it has happened before. People have turned around at the last minute. We've seen all the news stories before. It can happen, and it does happen. So the people need hope. Not just the person in the bed, but the relatives as well. She's got a wonderful daughter, Gillian. Fag Ashlil says, send Gwen love and prayers from the United Kingdom radio listeners, of which she was a part. She's been on this show so many times. So many times. She really has. A little text coming in here. Let's have a look. Ah, yes. It's Rory from Ireland who says he's coming to the hospital this afternoon to see Gwen as well. Good. Anyway, boys and girls, that's it today. Sorry to finish off with such terrible, terrible news. I'll let you know on Saturday's show, live at 3 o'clock. What else there is to know, really. All right. Thanks very much for joining me today. If you want to join in on the email, then that's fine. They will come up, hopefully, in the next couple of shows. I will do my best to clear as many emails as I can in the next few shows. All right. My email address is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Thanks for watching and listening. See you on the next show. Bye-bye now.